like to build around the biologist and the Commander Master's precon, but at the same time, Slivers is just so overdone. But I love them so much. And I talked earlier about the concept of the one art being like the xenomorph. That's got to be Slivers. I wonder if they, I don't know which came first, Warhammer or Magic the Gathering. Probably Magic. I don't know. But the Tyranids, or that species, that also seems like an influence for Slivers, or vice versa. Everybody loves Slivers, including myself. Nice uncommon commander. Ooh, mana confluence. Always will take a mana confluence. Nice add to any 5-color deck. I can't remember if you can pull a foil Stellar Scythe in a play box, but no, I like that. Actually, I think that might be the secondary art for that card. I know some of them had that. Bioengineered Future, coming soon. Alright, well, the box has definitely started to pick up some steam. If we could hit one good Stellar Scythe and one of the big mythics in the set, you know what? I've never pulled Tezzeret. And like I said, I've opened 4 or 5 boxes, maybe even 6. I was really big on this set. Most of the in-universe sets I've been pretty big on the last couple of years. Seems like there's so few and far between. And it gives that rustic feel of, being in a Magic set. Oh, Sammy Wildcat Captain. Actually, no idea on the price on that. I could see it being $5 or less. But also probably a commander staple or a play commander. Not too sure. Ooh, what's this? Mistform Harmonizer. I don't believe this is a bad card. I don't think it's super expensive. Maybe around the $7 to $10 range, but hey, we'll take it. Nothing else in that pack worth writing home. I keep forgetting to look for Tezzeret emblems. I don't think they're worth much, but maybe like $1. So everything's like $1. Hopefully the camera's holding out. Did a little research, and this seems like a decent camera for my budget and my purposes of just making casual videos. There were so many of these spacecraft that were printed that just nobody remembers. Foil nutrient block. Sometimes the slot into a few decks. I think I'm already set on those. I don't think there's much that I'll be trading or giving away in this box. Not yet, at least. But I do like to set aside like little things for friends who maybe don't have that particular single. Okay, we'll take a Stalker Ardent. I thought that was going to be better than it was. Another forgettable spacecraft. Would have been much better if the spacecraft in this set had been, like a Starfleet vessel or in that universe. That would have been cool. Of course, I guess you wouldn't do the Stellar Scythes unless Wizards got really crazy. The re-errated card at pre-release. And a foil swamp. Yeah, we'll set that aside. I think I missed the rare there, yep. Well, we're about 2/3 of the box. And, for the price that I paid, I can't really complain. But the book cover sliver kind of makes it worthwhile. I know I could have just bought one, but where's the fun in that? Hey, another Godless Shrine. Another Shockland. That's 3. That's not bad. And I think I wanted this mythic to be good, but yeah, maybe in a big Spellslinger deck. I got the new Prismari precon. Maybe that can find its way in there. That's not really an instant or sorcery. I just looked at that. Well, the foiling on that's really cool. Hopefully the set doesn't fall over. getting towards the end here. I haven't even checked to see if this is recording. I don't see any kind of indicator light, so I'm probably just talking to myself, which that's fine. Moving a little faster through the cards. We know what to look out for. Not that. Looks like we've got about 9 or 10 packs left, so could still hit a home run. Oh, we hit a Quantum Riddler, and we'll call it good. Try to complete a playset. I have a couple of the extended art. Pulled 2 during pre-release, and they were like setting at $10, and just didn't really value what they were going to become to Legacy and the other Eternal formats. So, Cosmic Wave, this one went south quick. Still cool. But yeah, I mean, it's easy not to think about the Eternal formats like Legacy and maybe Vintage to a lesser extent, but standard printings are having an impact. What set do you think had the biggest impact on Legacy? I want to say either Lord of the Rings or not Commander Masters, but Commander Legends, maybe? What am I trying to think of? Oh, yeah, no, Commander Legends 2 with the initiative. That was really good. Ooh, got some stuff. Not very good stuff. Power Depot. Pain for All is a cool card, and if I did get into Standard, I would probably try to build around that. I haven't heard my camera beep that it's turning off or going idle, so maybe that's a good sign. Command Bridge. I feel like there were some forgettable legends in this set. I mean, they can't all be a home run, though. And we'll set that now aside. I think even the non-foil one actually might even be more sought after. Let's see. I give away most of the bulk to one of my friends who organizes it and keeps up with it. And if we ever do need something or something spikes, we can go back through. I just don't have the space and time to go through it. I am a collector, but at the same time, it's very niche, and try to keep cards that I want to play and cards that have to be played. Ugh, always so many Rust Harvesters. Alright, we're down to the last 6, so a couple more big hits would be pretty cool, but I don't think we're going to get there. I don't know if this box is actually going to make the value, even though how cheap it was, which is usually not the case for Edge. Usually Edge is, high EV. Oh, could have been Deep Space Nine. Would be funny to see reprints of the spacecraft in Star Trek. Hey, Drumming Hive Pool. Go with my sliver. But, I always thought that card was cool. Very powerful. My friend has a Changeling deck that he really likes that in. Standard is not really, my thing, but still pretty interesting. Alright, last 3. I don't think we pulled a ton of mythics, probably about average, but hopefully, oh yeah, speaking of Star Trek, Yeah, I think we all know. Well, even kind of that. Oh, Pinnacle Star Cage. There's always a foil corgi. They know what they're doing. Okay. Oh boy. Wonder if they're going to complete the whole cycle of these charms, or have they already? I don't know that they. Well, huh? Maybe they have. All right, we are down to the last pack, and it is not looking great for value. We may have just gotten there, but I don't think we have. I'll go back at the end and look for anything that you know could be valuable, and I'll make an estimation. You guys can check it if you want. Oh. Once we get settled in, we'll try to get a nicer setup, and we'll try to actually edit videos. Maybe I definitely always kind of want prices added in, but this is just a test run. Hey, I love this commander. I always like lobsters, and I have a really tricked out one, and I do play a very probably bracket four with Ghost deck. I definitely think that's cool, but I don't think I have a use for that version. Maybe we'll do the dual sided commander thing. Well, at least we pulled one of my favorite cards from the set to end it. So let's see if we what we think we ended up with. I'm not going to count anything that's like not uh maybe not over $1. So the throwing pool is probably like $7. Not looking great. Got a godless shrine. Let's say $10. I think that's like a $7 card, so that puts us right at about 24 ish. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that's around $5. So 29 was mana confluence. At another 10. So what are we at? $39. We're 1/3 of the way there. Now I have not checked the price on the Sliver Overlord, which is the all-star of this box. I want to say this art. I want to say 40 to $50, but it could have fallen to as low as 30. This card has been reprinted a lot, if I'm not mistaken. It's hard to gauge the sliver, the big slivers like Sliver, well, not Sliver Queen, but the rest of those in that vein. So let's see, what would that put us at? Uh, let's just say this puts us around $80. I don't think the price has rebounded enough to say, but I want to say that a foil breeding pool with that art, probably somewhere between 15 to $20 to be safe. I'm just gonna say 10, and because that's probably if you could on a buy list, it's probably the credit amount you would get or close. I put this at around $90 and a stomping ground, and that should put us right around $100. Well, I guess after that, after you factor in all the 50 cent to $1 cards, we definitely made the box, but it wasn't above the box in a way that makes you comfortable with the DV, but for the price and just for the fun and adding to a collection that you're trying to complete, definitely not a bad deal. Um, yeah, thanks for if there's anyone watching, thank you. I'd like to give a shout out to you. You know who you are. I know you'll subscribe. I look forward to kind of experimenting and seeing how things can get. And well, thank you. Thank you guys.